Okay, so let's talk about the anatomy of the external ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. So we start with the external ear. You can see here the pinna, the helix, the lobules, and then we get to the canal of the external ear. Part of it is from cartilage and part of it is bony. The wave propagates throughout the external ear canal. Then we get to the tympanic membrane. Here the wave vibrates the tympanic membrane, which vibrate three ossicular bones, the malleus, incus, and stapes. Here we are in the middle ear cavity. It is divided into part, epitympanum, meso and hypo. Here you can see the Eustachian tube, responsible for pressure equalization of the middle ear throughout connecting to the nose. Throughout there it can be connected to external word. Also you have here some tendons important for the acoustic reflex, especially the stapedius tendon, which connects to the stapes, and when there is a loud noise it dampens the sound by contracting and fixating the stapes, not letting it to too much vibrate, damping loud noises. After the wave propagates throughout the ossicular chain, it gets to the stapes. There it vibrates the oval window. We also have a round window. And then it vibrates fluids inside the inner ear. We have perilymph and endolymph. Perilymph is more like CSF, and endolymph is rich with potassium in order to make an electrical gradient. So after the fluid vibrates, it goes to two places in the inner ear. You have the cochlea, responsible for hearing, and the vestibular system, responsible for equalization. In the vestibular system, you have 5 main organs. The 3 semicircular canals that you can see right over here, responsible for detecting angular accelerations. You have the superior semicircular canal, the horizontal semicircular canal, and the posterior semicircular canal. The utricle and saccule are also part of the vestibular system, and they're responsible for detecting linear accelerations, the utricle horizontal linear acceleration and the saccule sagittal linear accelerations. So gravity can be detected using the saccule. In the cochlea, responsible for hearing, we have tonotopic organization, namely the base of the cochlea, responsible for detecting high frequencies. And as we go farther and distally with the cochlea, we get to the apex. And as we go farther, the frequencies that are being detected are lower and lower. In the apex, we have the lowest frequencies that we can detect. If we take a slice from the cochlea, we're getting to this area, and you can see that there are 3, let's call them canals in the cochlea. One is the scala vestibuli, the middle is the scala media, and the lower one is the scala tympani. When the wave propagates, it goes to the fluid and moves firstly the perilymph in the scala vestibuli. Then it propagates more and more, and in the area it it causes change. How? It goes to electrotrema, which is in this area, going back throughout the scala tympani. And in the frequency that there is a resonance, the fluids in the scala tympani causes the basilar membrane, let's get inside here, the basilar membrane to move. When it moves the hair cells relative to a membrane called the tectorial membrane. When the hair cells move, the stereocilia that are connected or influenced by the tectorial membrane change position, opens. When they open, ions can get inside, and this change of ions causes change of voltage. And this change of voltage causes an electrical current that can be conveyed throughout the cochlear nerve. This is how we convert the mechanical wave of hearing to a signal, to an electrical wave. Then you can see the cochlear nerve going with the vestibular nerve, two of them part of the vestibulocochlear nerve, the 8th cranial nerve, throughout the internal auditory canal, IAC. Going to the brain, to the brainstem, there is the vestibular nuclei and everything. Getting to the temporal lobe, to the auditory cortex. So we have the outer hair cells and we have the inner hair cells. The outer hair cells are more for tuning the wave, tuning the voice, making it more accurate, amplifying it if needed in the frequency needed. And the inner hair cells, those are responsible for hearing itself. So from there, for the inner hair cells, go to the nerve and to the brain. Another important area in the inner ear is this temporal bone area, which is called the arcuate eminence above the superior semicircular canal. This area may be absent in the superior semicircular canal dehiscence. You also have the mastoid air cells, not really presented too much here. And this is the main ideas of the inner ear. Just let me tell you that in here, in the vestibular system, there is the cupula, and when fluid move, when we accelerate in some angular direction, it also changes the direction, and this is how we convey the understanding to which way we accelerated. So this is the external ear canal, tympanic membrane, ossicular chain, middle ear, Eustachian tube, cochlea, superior semicircular canals, utricurrent saccule, vestibulocochlear nerve, the facial nerve also goes here, the temporal bone, which is the petrous part of the temporal bone, and the mastoid air cells. This is the anatomy of the external, middle, and inner ear. This is it.